My dad played goalie. He played, locally in Illinois, then played club hockey in college and men's league when I was a little kid. So I always watched him play, and that's how I kind of got started with it. I played forward from 3 to 5, and then switched over. Yeah, it was the gear for me when I was a little kid. I always wanted the pads. I loved the pads, and I realized I kind of had a knack for it. I wasn't very good at forward, so I found my place on the team in the net, and then it kind of just went from there. Very first started playing, the team had a set that we would trade off who played goalie, so I used that. But then the next season, I lived in Seattle at the time, and took me on a surprise trip up to Vancouver and brought me to a goalie store up there, and it was the biggest goalie store I've ever seen in my life. And I got to go and pick out gear, and I got these cool little Coho pads that were almost like a vinyl. They weren't a leather pad. They were, kids pads are a little bit different, but they were black. They were like Potvin replicas, and I love those pads. They were awesome. I was fortunate enough to be a part of a team that won a Stanley Cup. That was bar none the coolest thing that I've ever been a part of in my entire life. Yeah, this whole season in general was just, it was the most fun I've ever had playing hockey, and it ended amazingly. So. Be a good skater, just work on your skating. I think when you're younger, nobody really wants to do goalie skating drills, you just want to get hit with pucks, but that's the foundation for everything, is your footwork and your skating ability, and it's a big part of the game, especially for a guy like me who all of a sudden I woke up one day and I was 6'6". I had to work really hard to get my coordination, my skating back together, and so I think that's a pretty massive part that I wouldn't say it gets overlooked, but it's not as much fun, I'd say. But you got to put in the work there, and it'll pay off dividends down the road. I was in the Southern Pro League. We lost 20 games in a row just 5 years ago, playing in Louisiana, and it's just do the right things, make the right decisions, work hard. I'm not going to say that you're going to play in the NHL and win a Stanley Cup, but at the end of the day, you're going to give yourself the best opportunity to. And I realize how fortunate I am, but thrilled to share it all, share everything with people who aren't lucky enough to win a Stanley Cup, and hopefully help some people along the way.